everybody? Welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are back from break. When we left our heroes, they had made it back to the surface, the City of Splendors, in midwinter, and they had split up to take care of business throughout the town, various tasks, various journeys, various quests forward in the progression of who they are, what they're capable of, etc., etc. Some fun, exciting stuff, and some, mundane counting coins stuff. But either way, they have all reconvened back home at the Troll Skull Manor, where they have rested for the evening. And on the morning of the 24th, as they awake and join each other in the bar below, the Lifted Spirits, 4 missives are awaiting them. One specifically for each of them. Who wants to go first?
Go first.
Nope, Mitch beat me.
Matashtai.
Too swift.
The formal silver filigreed letter that is addressed to you. As you open it up, it is on official parchment from the hand of Laeral Silverhand from Pirgaron's palace. You are summoned this day to an audience with the Silverhand at 10 a.m.
Okay.
There is no other information aside from that.
I note it in my calendar.
Oh, do you? Note it in your calendar. Okay, I see how it is. Ezra, you were second to jump in. The simple envelope with a wax seal, a signet that you are familiar with, the signet of the Harpers, along with the jam stain aside it. You're able to break the seal, and there's a letter responding to...
What does my boy Mert have to tell me?
Responding to your missive from the other day, from yesterday, and it's a simple missive. It just says, Ezra, it's good to hear from you. Thank you for contacting me. I actually needed to talk to you. If you wouldn't mind finding me at our usual meeting place, sometime today would be preferable. And that's it. Ashes. There is a simple black card, almost kind of like a thick business card, or almost kind of like a credit card, right? Like one of the black heavy ones.
Yeah.
And it just says your name on it. It just says Ashes. And when you pick it up, you hear in your mind, you hear a message from a familiar voice, that of the Blackstaff, Vajra Safar, who says, Ashes! It's been a while since you've been by. Maybe, I don't know, drop in today? That wasn't a suggestion.
Right. He didn't say I could respond to this message. So
She did not! Oh, fuck. And you all see Bones step forward, and the squirrel who's just like... holding this little, like, ticker tape, right, that has Bones' name printed on it. Bones reaches out, and the squirrel, like, plops it into his hand and just, like, books it out the door. And Bones has to, like, thread this little, like, piece down and, like, read down the scenario. But it is an invitation from Melanor Fellbranch, to come by Falconmere Manor at Bones' earliest convenience, to discuss matters of to the World Enclave. And that is that. So, each of you have received a missive some of you with more urgent demands than others.
It wasn't urgent. It was just a demand.
And that's that. That's the morning. You guys are free to discuss things, discuss plans, discuss ideas, or we can launch immediately into the activities of the day. What would you like to do?
Kind of let you guys know that what came up for me.
Sorry, I lied. I apologize. There is something that I have completely forgotten. My bad, and I needed this from a previous day, so I'm actually going to probably need this twice. I need everyone to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this.
I'm going to roll for bones.
Oh shit. The dungeon call. The dungeon calls some of us.
Do I get advantage on this one?
Do you normally have them for wisdom?
Yes. Well, I can spend a reaction to do so.
You could spend a reaction to do so.
Okay.
Wait, did I determine that you couldn't do that previously?
I don't remember.
Because-
I remember one time you told me I couldn't do something, and I don't remember what that was for.
I think this is that one because it's not a scenario that you're reacting to, right? So you don't really have an opportunity for a reaction. It's just like an internalized thing. That being said, even with an 8 and even with Bones' 4, none of you fail. So,
And we do it again for today?
no worries about that. And yes, I do need you to do it again for today.
Another 6.
Another 6.
Blammo.
Well, blammo. Well, blammo's ammo.
7, and then a nat 20.
Nice. Again, no failures. So we're
Mitch,
good.
is your wisdom check the same as your wisdom save?
Yes.
Because you're rolling wisdom checks. I just want to make sure it's not.
That's fair.
Not that it matters in this instance.
And
Yes.
then I need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
But Jay's
Well,
favorite.
there goes.
With a +6, buddy.
Twice. Sorry.
Oh,
Mitch.
cool.
Mitch didn't roll.
Oh, sorry. I missed that call.
Two Constitution
con
saving
save
throws.
twice?
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Okay. Ashes, when you wake up on the morning of the 24th, you are... You didn't sleep well. You've actually... It's like... It's not happening every night, but you're having more trouble sleeping these days. You just feel tired, which I mean is honestly kind of to be expected. It's natural. Like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders. There's a lot riding on what you all are doing.
Jeremy, just as a heads up, Zach has advantage on con saves because Phantom.
Okay. Cool.
Not sure if he's impacted negatively. That
He is
advantage,
not currently impacted negatively.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Slept like shit. I'll just get up early and just like start darning my warden robes.
okay, gotcha. Sounds like a plan. So sorry about that. I had forgotten about that particular bit. Now, you all are free to discuss things and figure out what it is you would like to do for the day.
I just give the guys a heads up that I have been summoned by the Silver Hand, and I'm going to be heading there around 10 a.m. And also, if I did not mention it last night, what's going on with Wolf. And
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Well,
We'll have a wolf boy to help us out a little bit more consistently.
Do we want to head over and relieve our broker of her fiduciary
let's do that.
responsibilities
Let's do
this
that.
morning?
Let's definitely do that.
And then, so we do want to sell the greatsword, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think
well,
it's
I'll find some time to
I
stop by the yawning
also
portal.
I also have the serpentine necklace that I think we were all in agreement to sell that off.
Was that non-magical? That's just a silver necklace.
Correct. It's just a ornate art object or what have you. Is there anything else that we wanted to sell off?
Let's see. Like, I've got a few things. Like, I have the fang from that statue that opened the door. I have the Yuan-Ti holy symbol that I don't think we're probably going to get every use out of ever again. I think that's about it, though. Is between the, Yerk's great sword, the Yuan-Ti holy symbol, and the fang from the statue. Those are probably items that will not get used.
Do they have any value on the Slither Swamp?
The holy symbol did open the way to the ritual room.
So we probably want to maintain that and
Yeah, I was gonna say
maybe
get rid of that.
Yeah, maybe bequeath that to Risk or something, just as a.
I'll remember to hand that off when we go back down. Should probably left that to begin with.
And then the Fang, does that do something?
That was another way to open the same room.
Okay, so maybe we keep one and hand off another, just as a.
Okay.
Cool. So all of our sales stuff is taken care of. Is there anything else? I have nothing else to discuss. So.
Yeah.
Mitch, Jay.
Nope.
Anything
Yeah,
to
nothing.
discuss? All right, we
We are-
go become moneybags.
You become moneybags. Okay, it's
Hey.
a simple journey down. I believe Shalara lives in the trade wards. So it's a simple journey down to her place. There's a little bit of security at her place. Nothing that you guys you're not accosted or anything like that, but you are, vetted to be who you actually are. And Shalara comes and sees you, and she's like, okay, great. Fantastic. And she walks you over to an actual chest where she's kind of paper or plastic, how do you want this, right? She has traveling padlocked chests that she can put your stuff in, or she can put it in non-circumspect bags or things like that, like satchels and stuff like that. So
I pull out my bag of holding.
oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, she will just fucking start dropping coin in pretty much, and you guys are paid the
300 platinum apiece, boys.
Yep. So I guess that would be 1,200 platinum.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
1,200. Jeez Louise.
It
So
was
much
a
money.
frickin' galleon in a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good find.
All right,
That'll
that
be
is
sad when we
done.
need an actual boat for one of our adventures.
I mean, there is the what is it? The Sea Deeps.
Okay, cool.
Right.
And that
I
does not
assume
take
we're
you
getting
guys-
close.
Yeah,
to-
that does not take you guys a long time, but traveling across the city and then the process of being vetted who you are and small talk with Shalara, etc., it would be getting close to the point to where Matashtai would probably need to leave to head to Pirgaron's palace for his appointment with Laeral Silverhand. So we can immediately transition into that unless there is something else that others are wanting to do.
I mean, I assume his summons is just for him, seeing as we all got.
His summons is just for him. That's what I'm saying. We could transition into him heading that way, and you guys dispersing to do your other stuff, unless there is something that you guys, someone else wants to do first.
We're good.
No? Okay.
Go get him, champ.
Will do. I head out.
Make your way across the city from the trade ward to the castle ward, past Castle Waterdeep on the mounts, and into the plaza that contains Agaron's Tower, founder of Waterdeep. The tower that is a deadly tourist trap and thus highly guarded and quarantined so that no one goes too fucking close to the thing.
Solid.
Your coach rounds it, and as it does, you can see up above Pirgaron's palace, you can see the Griffin and the peak-top Eyrie high upon the peak of Mount Waterdeep. And the splendor of Pirgaron's palace. Pirgaron's palace is more fortification than palace, and it's more administrative building than palatial home. It is one of the several beating hearts of the city of Waterdeep. And on this day, it seems that your arrival is expected. As you climb down from your coach, and you approach the doors, right? The coach goes in through the gates and up to the palace proper. As you climb down and you approach the doors, an attendant comes rushing over. Matashtai? Shield Matashtai. You are ready and prepared?
Yeah. Don't know what this is about, but sure, I'm ready. Do I need a speech? I pull out some sheets of paper. I got PowerPoint here.
I have no idea. I was just informed this morning to be prepared for your arrival. You are immediately to be taken to the East Wing to Leral's private audience chamber. But please, this way.
Right.
And this, not quite flustered, but definitely a little anxious attendant leads you off to the side and not into the main entry hall, the administrative location of Pirgaron's palace, but over towards the East Wing, where you are led through a series of hallways that are oddly similar to one another, almost kind of intentionally designed to cause potential confusion for anyone who doesn't know where they're going. But the Pirgaron's palace may not be a palace in heart, right? But it is impressive, right? It is a regal affair with the tapestries and impressive display of wealth of the City of Splendors here in the East Wing. You're taken to a chamber, and there is zero pomp and circumstance. You are led to a door. The door is opened by this attendant, who waves you inside.
Head on in.
Door closes behind you, and you're in a small chamber, maybe 15 by 10, right? And it looks like a throne room, honestly. It looks kind of like a significantly smaller version of the audience chamber that you started this campaign in. And on a simple marble throne towards the end of the chamber sits Laeral Silverhand, in much the same clothing as you saw her the first time that you met her. Mother of Pearl dotting her collar, silver pins keeping her hair aloft in this great braid that falls down around her shoulders. Whites, silvers, creams, garnering her clothing. An almost a ball gown in what she wears consistently. And she looks across the room as you enter, and she just has this not angry or frustrated look in her eyes to our master insider, I guess. But she has an incredibly stern gaze. And as soon as you enter, she says, "It's been nearly..." Sorry. She would say, "It's been over 3 months since you were put on this mission. I would like a report of your activities. How fares your delving into Undermountain?"
You bet. So, are you familiar with names of the levels, or would numbers be more helpful?
I will
to you?
ask for clarity if I need it.
Okay. So we have arrived and just, we'll say cleared out. I feel pretty good about cleared out. The Slither Swamp level of the Undermountain. We are just about to head into Dwemercore. We've acquired a password to make our way through there a bit easier. We've tried to stabilize the mountain as much as we could, helping factions that we feel are a little bit more welcoming to adventurers or outsiders.
You
A little
believe
bit
that
easier
to
work with.
truly aid you in your endeavors? Or is it a waste of time?
I don't think it only aids our endeavors. I think it aids Waterdeep's endeavors.
Be that as it may, if Waterdeep is afflicted with shadow and madness, Waterdeep will not stand. So again, I ask, do you think, this is not an accusation, do you think that this aids you in your mission, or is it a waste of time?
I do think it aids us in our mission.
Okay.
Makes it easier for us to traverse the mountain.
Continue.
Other than that, we've been gathering more information about Halaster, the various levels deeper within. We've spent time.
What information have you
traveled
gathered
through-
on Halaster?
So we have learned that he is the headmaster of Dwemercore, obviously. We've seen various traps and puzzles that he himself has set up. We have also experienced the shadow that you mentioned in traveling through the portals there. We've found some methods of thwarting it, albeit temporarily, while traveling through the portals by gaining boons or protections from more powerful individuals down there. But obviously we still need to learn more. I feel like we'll do that as we get deeper.
It has been 4 months since High Harvesttide, since the last time the shadow leaked into my city. We have no cause to believe this to be the case, but we have no reason to believe otherwise. I believe all of those involved fear the next High Harvesttide, which we are 8 months away from. And you say you have cleared 8 levels. in roughly 3 months. We don't know exactly how deep Undermountain is, but at this rate, it does sound as if we may be cutting it a bit close.
Fair. You think we should speed up the process?
I think you should go as slowly as you need to go. I think if you screw this up and you get yourself killed, then we have no other recourse. Save the mad dash for the last 2 months. Take your time. Make sure you are certain with what you are doing. Again, we have... all hell could break loose tomorrow. We do not know, we just suspect.
Alright.
I am pleased by your progress. I know it may not seem as though I am. But the fact that you have answers is positive to me.
I'm glad to hear that. I think what we're doing is good for everyone.
I want to believe that that is the case. The way that you put that does cause me to lean into my next question. I've received report from a trusted source, Halaster Silvermane.
Okay.
That you and your group abandoned him and his team in the Xanathar's lair, leading to the death of a celebrated City Watch member that otherwise could have been saved. I am
Good
not
recap.
making an accusation, but I want to hear your side of the story.
I need a quick reminder on that was the Xanathar's lair, one of the guys we left in the jail?
No,
cell?
not one of the guys you left in the jails.
One of the guys that ran forward after we told him to get the fuck out.
After you killed the Xanathar, and while you were escaping, while the forces of the Xanathar were converging upon you, you ran into another group that was infiltrating the Xanathar's lair with the intent to try to rescue a City Watch member and potentially others. And rather than assisting them, you bailed. And it seems as if the person you know who was leading that team. You saw it was Halaster Silvermane. But he could not see you. You were all invisible or gone. So, he has somehow you literally have a song named for your deeds in the lair playing around Waterdeep. And Halaster Silvermane has put 2 and 2 together, and as a member of the Lord's Alliance, he has gone up the chain.
Okay.
And this, Mitch, this is the one that Zach was invisibly talking to.
Yeah, and told to get
several
out.
Times said, "Get the fuck out. We can't stay."
Then yeah. So, and please correct me if I misremember this. So I think I know of what you're talking about. So we had just defeated the Xanathar, and in doing so, we were quite bloodied. And we had began a retreat from the lair as his forces rallied to him, or his corpse, I guess, at that point. In doing so, we made efforts to make ourselves invisible or flee swiftly. And as we left, a member of our party told was it Jalaster specifically Bones talked to?
Yes.
Okay. Member of our party, Bones, told Jalaster to retreat because we were not in any shape to fight there.
More wine.
At which point we then went forward with our plan to retreat.
Laurel just kind of like stares at you as you tell her all of this. And she continues to stare at you for a few moments after you finish. And I mean, you can kind of tell she's reading you, right? Like you have read many another person. And after a moment, she sighs and she says, "That is most unfortunate. It is regrettable." But
I agree.
I do not believe that the proper choice in that instance was to risk your lives for the life of another. I told you. Take this slow. If you die down there, well, we have little recourse, but we'll do what we have to, which means more risks and more potential death. In the future, of course, I would prefer you aid any Lord's Alliance member you can, and more specifically, any member of our city. But at the end of the day, you must live in order to see this completed. You understand me?
I do.
I am commanding you to abandon people if you believe it will get you killed otherwise. Do you understand me?
Understood.
You see for a moment a incredibly heavy weight sitting upon Laurel's shoulders. And though it is masked with magic or makeup, magic or the mundane, the hint of shadow under her eyes. She, for a very brief moment, seems just weary. And then she inhales, and the moment passes. Her cheeks are flush, even tone, or I say flush. Her skin tone is even. You see no more hint of shadow, and she seems perfectly fine. And she says to you, "Is there anything you need in the immediacy? You spoke of these blessings."
Well, yeah. If your mages or you can come up with a way to protect us through the portals, it'd make traversing the Undermountain significantly easier.
I will put some of my best people on it. We'll look into seeing what we could do. That being said, it sounds like you may have already found your way. Who are you receiving your blessings from, if not these people that you have made alliances with, that you've spent time assisting?
Those have been the people that we get the blessings from. So
Then I believe your assessment earlier is likely correct. If in aiding these people, it truly eases your passage through Undermountain. That is likely the best course of action, at least for now. Continue to delve. I will see what can be done, if anything can be done. Make progress. Make sure it is measured progress. We are not reckless yet.
Will do.
I have other matters to attend to. Thank you for attending my summons. You may go now.
Thank you. Right. Head on out.
Your exit of Pirgaron's palace is much less rushed. The attendant is not there when you exit the room, and you are left to your own devices to try to make your way back out of the palace. Roll me a survival check with advantage due to your perception.
Okay. Am I surviving an assassination on my way out?
No,
You
you're
survive.
trying to remember
Labyrinth.
the route
Yeah.
of how you get the fuck out of this place. Because it is
Gotcha.
intentionally designed to be somewhat obtuse or confusing to those who don't know exactly where they're going. But you are you're an explorer and a perceptive one at that. So you're able to retrace your steps with relative ease and walk right back out of the palace as confident ? As you entered it. As soon as you exit the palace, you hear in your mind, you actually get like a little chill that ripples up your spine, and you hear in your mind from Velena, you hear, I don't know that I enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah, there seemed to be a bit more subtext than...
It was like eating an entire salad of subtext. I don't think that's a good... It was a lot of subtext. There's a lot going on with that woman. And
Yeah.
even without that woman, I don't like what she told you.
You noticed that. I didn't say that I would obey her command.
Good.
But I did understand them.
Don't get me wrong. Right? Exactly. Right. Every moment. Situations matter. I don't want you blindly following some ruler's orders to abandon those in need.
Yeah, I got no intention to.
Good. Hopefully, we've been doing good. We've been doing good, right? We just keep doing what we're doing.
Keep on
and
doing what we're
it'll be
doing,
fine.
right? Yeah. Keep on keeping on.
And Velena retreats and back of you. It is at that point that I'd like to jump over to Ashes or Ezra and see what they're up to, whether they are heading to see their individuals or if they're taking care of other business throughout the day. Who would like to volunteer to go first?
Shopping spree!
Shopping spree for Ezra? Okay.
I
Ezra,
mean,
what do you do?
I assume we're rolling together to sell off shit.
Oh,
Yeah, we can do
Ashes
that.
and Ezra? Okay.
Absolutely.
Easy peasy for you guys. Are you heading to see Obaya to drop things off?
Yeah. Let's go. If you're cool with it, let's head to the Young
it.
portal and see if we can get a hold of Obaya.
Easy peasy. Obaya is there. And you're selling Yerk's greatsword. Is that what you're selling to her?
Oh, great sword! Be like, shing. Necro sword. Does necro damage. Got it from a slod.
Obaya's like, eyes wide? Oh, very interesting. Okay, alright. Like cat. And she casts identify on it, and she's like, she whistles through her teeth, and she's like, oh wow. Yeah, okay. Huh? Un momento. My cat decided to be loud. Purifying. Stop that, Lippo. Stop that. We have an air purifier, and she likes to run across the top of it and turn it on while she's running across the top of it. But some bitch is loud. Anyways, yeah, so it's a rare object. She will pay 5,000 gold for it. Pay up front. Well, I say 5,000 gold. She'll pay 500 platinum pieces for it.
Okay. That's going to be an additional 125 in everybody's little nasty little hobbit pocketses.
Nasty little hobbit pockets. Wow, that's fucked up.
25.
Also, Papaya. Completely unrelated to business, but you've been talking about leaving pretty soon, and
Potentially.
yeah,
I think when the weather warms and the harbor reopens, I have accrued many items that I think my lord will be most interested in. I'm sure I will return, but a break, a time at home for me.
well, I ask because I don't know. This might seem stupid, but and I'll reach back to my the hilt of Quicksilver where I've had Haleth's holy symbol, which is Joaquin, and I take it off and I give it to her. I'm like, I'm not sure really what I'm doing, but this belonged to a friend. He's no longer with us. And I thought, if anything, he would maybe like to have it returned to, I don't know, somebody of, another one of her followers. And I just wanted to make sure I had the opportunity to give this to you before you left.
She kind of nods at you and she takes it in. I appreciate. I understand. There's a great temple to Joaquin in Port Nyanzaru, my home. I will take this there. I will put it on the scales of our goddess. And I'm sure she will judge it fair.
Appreciate that. I think that's a pretty good resolution. His name was Haleth, by the way, Halthgarth.
I will remember it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Now I'm all sad.
Womp womp.
Okay, cool. Who's up next? What's up next?
I think Ezra, right?
Well, Ezra's with Ashes at this point in time.
Yeah,
we're
we went together
Oh,
for
okay.
this. So are you breaking off? Otherwise, I'm gonna hit the market before visiting.
Well, if you're hitting the market, I might come with you because I think
Yeah.
now that I'm flush with even more cash, I might pick up one of these items from the magic shop.
Aw, shit.
So,
Yeah, do it. First things first, I'm gonna go haggle this silver necklace for a pristine sale.
Okay. Easy scenario. Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Da, da, da,
Where's
da,
Matt?
oh, okay. Christ almighty. Yeah, you're able
Matt
to...
could have done better.
You're able to sell it for over its value at 350 gold pieces.
Whoop whoop. That's too much math for me to do in my head.
Okie dokie.
Always have calculator up.
So it's gonna be like 87 gold per person.
Okay.
Something.
I
I'll
add
get
80.
You get the math.
the deets on the change after.
Also, I had
Get the
add
maths.
100.
Okay, and other than that, you guys are purchasing things.
7.
What are you buying?
Yes.
7, 5. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the 1,500 for the potion of fire giant strength.
Okay, gotcha. So you make arrangements to purchase the potion of fire giant strength. That's gonna be fun. I will mark it on my list.
He said he gonna mark it.
Open that. Go ahead and get that description.
Cool. What else is happening? Ezra, are you like mass buying something, or what's going on?
I've got a long list of things that I am.
Is it anything like out of the ordinary, or is it all stuff that is typical buy?
Most of it's general stuff, but I'm also going to be hitting up the expensive shit.
Okay, hit me with the
And-
expensive stuff. You can just send me a list of the general stuff, and we can double check that. But hit me with the expensive stuff.
Let me just double check before I commit, because I have commitment issues.
You have commitment issues? Oh, you're talking off the magic list. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. The Cape of the Mountebank,
Okay. Gotcha.
as well as the Wand of Steam and Vapor.
Vapor.
Vapor. And the Wind Fan.
Okay. Cape of the Mountebank.
That should be 5,700.
The Wind Fan. And the Wand of Steam and Vapor. Cool. Gotcha. Easy enough. And yeah, you were correct. 5,700. Hey. That cape's cool. I think the Cape of the Mountebank is one of the
One of my favorite items.
not like the coolest, but it's like one of the more cool mid-tier items out of base 5th edition D&D.
I love cape items.
The weird thing, like when we're at this point, is like really cool items over and index in the attunement side of things.
Yep, absolutely. That's why I like having a bunch of like...
It's 1 4th level spell once a day.
Sure.
Like, fine.
That's why I like things like the Wind Fan and stuff like that. I like lower level kind of like rinky-dink items because they're like, oh, I don't have to attune to it and it might be useful occasionally, right? So I'm just like, cool. We can grab that. What do you want, Boyo Bean? Can I help you? Okay, so got some major purchases. As far as like the more mundane stuff, you can just send me that in a list on Discord, and I'll feed you back like prices if there are any questions on prices or anything like that.
I already did all the math.
Okay, easy peasy then.
I'm gonna make just want to see this in passing and just pick that up as well. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the 300 gold seeds of growth.
Okay. Seeds of growth.
Just an impulse buy.
Absolutely, they're 300 gold. I mean, what's 300 gold to you guys? Seeds of growth. You guys are buying out the shop. I love it. That means I get to put more stuff in the shop.
Thank fucking God. Jesus. Can we not have any more fucking relics in the shop that
Nope,
are
no relics.
500,000 gold pieces?
Nope.
So, how many seeds are in here? Do I roll a 2d4?
Let me check real fast. The seeds. No, in this particular case, it is a fresh item, so you have 8 seeds.
I increment to 8. I'm going to assume a seed
Got
weighs
seeds.
0.01 pounds.
Yeah, it's very, very, very light.
Okay, I'm just going to paste that in there, and we're good. Square and
Okay, anything else? Oh,
Well, Ezra, I think I'd better respond to my summons to Blackstaff
I
Tower.
believe you are correct. I need to make my appointment as well.
All right.
It is one.
Yeah.
Good luck. Don't die.
Same to you.
Please.
don't die, please.
Don't die.
All right.
Attempt to avoid death.
Ashes or Ezra? Who's up?
Rollies.
Rollies. Rollies.
Wait, who wins? Does the higher go first, or does the higher
Yeah,
pick?
I mean, that's kind of cheating since I rolled a 20.
Right? Like,
But yeah, I'll go first. That's fine.
okay. So, Ezra, you make your way from the
Make my way.
market into the Sea Ward to... I can never remember the name of that damn theater.
Make my way.
Fuck. To the location that you and Mert
Location.
frequently...
It is a secret location. That's why he's not saying.
It's not the Lightsinger Theater. That's the other one. In a moment, though. It's gonna bug me. I gotta go look it up. I gotta go look up my locations page. Da, 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 da. Nope, it's not on my locations page. It's abandoned to all of time. I will
I'm sure I can find it.
I will
I'm
sit
just-
here and I will, like, tomorrow I will spend 35 minutes watching videos trying to figure out exactly which theater it is. So
It is like the light something. No, that was the one that you got the information from the old lady. Yeah, the light one was where we talked to the old lady owner of the theater. Is that the same one, or is that a different one?
not sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can get there.
I'm already looking.
That's in the south. Nope, not south ward. That's in the. What ward is this in?
This is the C ward. It's not the Pink Flump Theater. It's not the Seven Masks Theater.
Lightsinger is Mert's spot.
It is
That's what I've got to
Lightsinger.
note.
Fuck, I was right, and I questioned myself. God damn it! I
Yep.
was like, "That's not the right theater. It is the fucking Lightsinger." Damn it! All right.
Sorry, I was
Jeez, Jeremy, I
answering.
can't
that.
believe you just didn't know this.
Shit.
I was
when
handling a
when I have a
question in chat,
list of
so-
several theaters in Waterdeep, and I can't remember which theater is the right theater. Okay. You make your way to the Lightsinger
Make my way.
Theater, where
Anyway.
you have a very typical exchange with the staff there, right? You let them know that you're there to see Mert. You are made to wait for several minutes, and then you are led to his balcony. And before you go in, his attendant comes out, a dark-skinned man of a. I don't know that you've ever actually heard him say anything, but he's an intimidating presence. But he just
He's not a couple of times.
yeah, he sees you and he recognizes you and he nods to you and he gives you kind of like this once over. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, this will go well. 9.
Yeah,
Sounded like you said this will go rel.
You're Ezrah, as Ezrah is wont to be, is a little more focused on other things. So, you're ushered into the box seating, the balcony, and you immediately hear, right, a difference compared to what you normally do. The sound from the theater, which is currently, there is a play going on, is muffled, extremely muffled, right? As if coming through a wall. And Mert is not facing the theater. Mert is facing the door as you enter. And as you appear before him, he kind of lets out this sigh of relief. Says, Ezrah, I assumed it would be you, but it's been... You gave us a little bit of a fright there. You were gone for quite some time.
Yeah, we
untoward happened.
I mean, plenty of untoward things happened, but things worked out for the better. Still continuing on with the mission.
Speaking of the mission, been a while since we've spoken. I thought perhaps you could, and he kind of grimaces and he says, "There's been some unease at the passage of time. I believe people are starting to get concerned. How are things faring? Talk to me."
Tap, tap.
They're going well. They're going as well as any expedition into the Undermountain. Well, they're going better than most expeditions into the Undermountain
And
can go.
Mert sits there and just nods at you with this like look of knowing. Like Mert, one of the premier explorers of Undermountain, is just like, "Yep, that's shit. It can get fucking weird down there." So like he just has this look on his face of like acceptance and yeah, I get it, right? But he doesn't stop you. He just nods and has that look and lets you continue.
I explain, because I had come to him a couple of times to explain where we were, what we were doing. I don't remember when I last did that though. That might have been after we established.
It was towards the beginning of this
hidden
month.
holds.
Yep.
So 6.
Yep.
So I go through
Actually,
and I
it might
update
have been
him.
end of last month.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I explain, getting the Skull Takers set up and established so we have at least a outpost of our own down there. Explain our experiences with Madgath and his castle and the stone giant sickness and the events of returning the Bullywug ally to his tribe and the trials and tribulations that came of it.
Mert listens rapidly and almost as if kind of like a trained performer, he oohs and ahs at the appropriate places, and he asks the right questions, right? Like when you get to a suspenseful moment. He is a good listener, but he is not obviously putting on a show for you, but he is trying to make you feel unconcerned. Roll an insight check for me.
Hey, I'm trained in that.
You are.
Doesn't help a whole lot, but 13.
13. You don't know if it is uncomfortably warm in here. You don't know if it's because it's uncomfortably warm in here or if it's something else, but Mert is sweating a little more than he normally does. And he normally does sweat a bit. He
He is
seems anxious,
Big
right?
gas.
As you kind of come to a close on your recapping
Well,
of what has happened.
And as my closure, I would explain that we're beginning the steps for what he knows is Dwarmakar, and
It is important to be cautious in your activity. And I think important that you take the time to make these allies and inroads on your journey down. I assume, I find it likely, that these things will be helpful in the long run. I would say that you should not be overly hasty. But a sense of urgency should be considered. Many of the individuals involved with this task believe that the next High Harvest Tide might be a repeat offense, if not worse, than the last time. I believe the idea that we avoid that by figuring out the source of the shadow, doing what needs to be done to stop it. So, I think you're doing well, and if you hear otherwise, they're wrong. Just keep everything that's at stake in mind. We'll continue to do what we can, where we can, obviously. But with a city like this, there's so many things happening. I can just imagine Vajra right now.
Oh no.
Did you know?
the setup.
Did you know that there was a fleet of frost giants 3 days northeast of Waterdeep 4 days ago?
That's awfully south this time of the year. Just in general, why do we know what drove them?
We know what drove them, but we need not concern ourselves with them.
Vajra took out her.
The Grey Hands handled the situation. What I mean to impress upon you is that there are threats to our city, our world, our realm. Not in that order. All the time. But what you're doing is important. It's of grave import. Maybe more important than any of us. No, than anyone. I find, or have found through my experience, that that is the case much of the time. Many times it is the simple quests that grow to be the most important. Do what you think needs to be done. Try not to scare us if you're going to be long for
I don't
while.
have a way to contact you, so
That's fair.
as I've said before, we've got allies in the Legion now. We've got allies in.
I believe it likely that as you progress further down, if the need for longer stays within the dungeon happen, we will likely just reach out to you. I believe others will feel the need to reach out to you.
We are focused on the number one objective, and some secondary and tertiary objectives, as they crop
Those
up.
objectives, I'm sure, lead to a greater hope. On the subject of other locations, other allies, the like, I received a missive a few days ago from Kalal. Though I'm not sure on the accuracy of its information, since I believe it was sent quite some time ago. Or perhaps not the accuracy, but the timeliness. She merely sent word that your presence in Skullport quite likely be now more acceptable. My understanding, whatever circumstance you told me about it, that is in hand now, or should be. Again, that being said, I believe this was sent more than a week ago, if not more, or several weeks ago, if not. So I do not know if anything else has happened further. I would use caution, always.
I mean, that's kind of the case in a place like that, though.
It is. I've been to Skullport many a time. There's always something happening. Why we have agents.
Keep one eye forward and two eyes back.
Hope you have more eyes than that.
Lord.
I don't have anything else. Honestly, I was not overly concerned, but there was some stress within our ranks.
That makes one of us.
I trust that we made the right decision. We called upon you and your ally months ago.
Yeah, you're not about to learn about your parents. Probably not for the better. It's based on what we found.
Who you are is not determined by who bore you.
It plays a part.
It is important. Yes, it is important to you. Sure. But it doesn't have to make you who you are. I don't want to keep you, so that's all I had. Thank you for coming to visit with me.
I appreciate your time. It's valuable, I'm sure.
All time is valuable. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Mert's attendant ushers you out, and you're left to your own devices. It's 10 o'clock. If you guys don't mind, I would love to jump over to Ashes.
Do it.
All right.
Vajra Safar. Ashes, you journey through the city of Waterdeep. Actually, your journey is not very far because you were in the market. So you head west past the Halls of Justice and the Font of Knowledge to the Blackstaff Tower.
Yep.
It's been a while since you last visited the Blackstaff Tower.
Oh,
wow. But that familiar feeling as you approach the steps, the feeling of everything zooming in, of everything drawing out, the kind of queasy nausea in your feel, and then suddenly being at the door is perhaps comforting in the fact that it never seems to change.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in. Invited, accepted into Blackstaff Tower. And there in the foyer is the elf Astatus, standing at attention, not behind anything, not for seemingly any purpose, just standing there at attention. And
Hey, Astatus.
as you enter, there's a light of recognition in
Hey.
his eyes, and he gives you this horribly forced smile.
You don't have to, fake it around me, buddy.
I'm practicing. There have been complaints.
Really? Yeah, you might need to make it come a little more natural. Maybe less teeth. Less teeth. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better. That's a little better. Vajra around.
He nods to you, and he points up the grand staircase, which I actually don't think you've actually ever been up the grand staircase. It's always been down like a hallway. So he just points up the grand staircase.
In this place, I'm gonna start walking. I'm gonna end up somewhere eventually.
You go up the grand staircase, and there's literally a door.
As I before I round the corner or whatever, I'll look back and say, "Hey, if you run across crocodiles, roar, tell them to say hi."
Okay.
What have I done? All right, bye.
You head up the grand staircase. It literally is like, so it's a two-pronged grand staircase that meets in the center, and there's a balcony, right, like a second floor balcony scenario, and there's nowhere to walk except for a door right there.
Not.
The door opens.
I go in.
You walk in to a what looks to be laboratory, right? And there are pieces of lab equipment floating around in the air. There are pops and fizzles. There is a high-pitched whistling coming from one of the corners. And standing in the midst of it all is Vajra Safar in what looks to be like a blue and black dress, right? Mostly black with blue accents. It's almost. God, I'm trying to describe what it is. It's almost kind of like a toga, but more form-fitting. I don't know if that makes sense, right? But she's got like this bandana holding her hair up, and she looks like she's physically exerting herself, right? Like there's the sheen of sweat across her dark skin, and she's kind of like straining, but she has her arms out, and you can see, right, like her eyes are focused on the half a dozen or more different objects that are flying about the room, doing little tasks all at the same time, right?
It's a bad time.
She turns, looks at you, everything drops to the ground, and several things shatter. And she just goes, "Fuck! Of all the times! Now! Really! Now! I have all of this shit that I have to handle, and do my helpers actually help half the time, or are they just stressors that I have to fucking babysit? Are you kidding me? Now! Right now!"
It's nice to see you too.
Kind of tilts her head at you, and you see her eye kind of twitch, right?
You're gonna see the vein pulse and nosebleed.
And she says, "I'm glad you're not dead." There has
Yeah, me
been
too.
some question, considering you hadn't been seen in a while. So, maybe fill me in on what you've been doing.
All right. So we've made it. We're about to get to Dramacor.
Cliff notes, please. I'm a busy
all right.
woman.
Allies on the way down. Many portals going through all the places. We're about to go down to Dramacor, which is like the, what is it, 8th floor?
Eyebrows kind of
Right.
rise at the mention of Dwemercore.
Yep. We have a way in. We've been given. We've made an ally within the student body, so we have a password to get in. So we should be able to get down to the Dramacor layer and not have too much problem.
Ooh, an ally within. That's good. That's good.
I mean, it's just a student, and not a. But yeah.
Rumor has
No
it
problem.
that Halaster Blackcloak himself runs the academy.
I've heard
Perhaps
that myself.
you see this kind of like antsy kind of like motion as it's clear Vajra is kind of like thinking about something, hatching some sort of plan. She just kind of shakes her head and she says, "No, too risky, too dangerous."
Before you like go too deep in that rabbit hole, I would, with all the distance we've already gone to the dungeon, we've ran across different versions of Halaster many times. I would not be surprised if the Dean of Dramacor isn't actually the Halaster Blackcloak. It's probably going to be
Multiple versions, you say?
Yeah, like there's like maybe illusions of him or like a version of him. There was like a robot version. There was like a tree version. Like, dude's all over the place.
Great, fantastic, wonderful. That's
We've
so
had
more
conversations,
time.
but I don't. Yeah.
There's been development. Always developments.
Yeah.
There's been
I
important development.
Yeah. I kind of imagine because all four of us got these this morning.
That's because
A little too coincidental.
you remember the prophecy that we told you.
I do. I mean, in my notes, I'm gonna.
Jay totally remembers the prophecy.
Well, Ashes would. Jay has it in his notes somewhere.
Fair enough.
Nah.
She says, "Shade and dying, and the younger years, love and betrayal and the power of fear, the seven rise anew and newly arise, to find the bard plays and the dead god dances, shade and dying turns again."
Right. Control F
The-
did not find.
Prophets that had that prophecy many of them are dead now. Most having bitten off their own tongue.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Continue.
The old $1 million baby.
I've been. If only there was a moment for Zach to do it, right? And she says, fortunately, one of them, in her death throes, was able to try to leave us a message. From that message, written in her blood, we were able to determine a few things. Only a few, unfortunately. And you might ask, well, Vajra, with all the great magic at the fingertips of the City of Splendors, why couldn't we just bring them back, or ask their spirits? Well, we tried that. And the two priests that we used to try that are now blind and can't speak. So we won't be trying that anymore. We were wrong. The interpretations were wrong. Happens when you're taking prophecies in dead ancient languages. No one speaks Netherese anymore.
Right.
It's not to find the bard plays. The seven rise anew and newly arise to find the bard plays and the dead god dances. It's not the bard plays. It was a mistranslation. Bards have been known to be quite magical for most of human history, elvish history. The other problem is all the conflicting histories. It's not bard. It's mage. The seven rise anew and newly arise to find the mage plays and the dead god dances. We can only assume the mage is Halaster.
And the seven, his apprentice?
Apprentices. We assumed that to begin with. But the mage, the Mad Mage himself, wasn't involved directly in the prophecy prior to this point, so we thought to be less concerned of him and more concerned of the shadow. And perhaps that is still the proper arrangement, but now this calls that into question, and now the prophets are going mad. From what I heard of Melanor, the druids aren't faring much better.
Which god? Who's the dead god?
We don't know.
I'm sure. Okay, great.
The only other thing that the prophetess who left us messages was able to leave was a numerical. Again, in ancient Netherese, the way they do their numbers, similar to tallies, it made sense being 8. Halaster and his apprentices. The 7 rise anew. Halaster is 8. But it's not. You left the number 9. And we don't know why. Whatever it is you're doing down there, we need it done. The others will advise caution. Laerol will say, we have time. There's always time. We can rush when there's no more time. Well, they don't know that we have time. They might be wrong.
Yeah.
And
trying to
every
pick a
day we
phase.
are faced with more and more challenges. We might not be here 3 months from now to face down whatever comes crawling out of Undermountain in your stead. figure it out.
Right. Do what we can. I will say, just throwing some things out there. These portals that we've been taking, we need to find a way to avoid the shadow's touch whenever we use them. I feel like if speed is the key here, being able to master these portals is going to be very big in that respect.
What happens when the shadow touches you?
Most of the time it's random. So most of the time it's bad things, but sometimes they can be boons.
How frequently does the shadow touch you?
We have not been taking the portals without having some form of protection, so very rarely.
Sounds like you're not taking enough risk. We didn't send you down into the dungeon to tiptoe around and maybe perhaps figure things out eventually.
You know, I mean, if you didn't have anything to help...
The city was almost driven to madness 4 months ago. People started killing each other in the streets.
Right.
That cannot be allowed to happen again.
I agree.
I put you on this team, Ashes, because I had a great recommendation from your order. Do not make me regret my decision. And this dalliance with the Temple of the Moon. I do not care if your success with the goddess increases your strength. Wonderful. Fantastic. As long as it serves the purpose you were given.
Alright.
You may think me coarse or rude, but I am the one that makes sure this city stays alive.
I understand your position, and I do not take offense to your stance. And we will do what we need to do.
See that you do.
Do you got like a sending stone or something? Because I think the next time we go down, we're probably going to be down for a bit.
I will contact you if I need to, which is likely.
Sounds like a plan.
Ashes. I believe in you and your allies. I am anxious. I am anxious from many things. But I am not anxious over what I believe you are capable of doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We chose you for a reason. All of you. I believe you will figure it out. Just don't do so late that it doesn't matter.
I think I can do that. Oh,
Now
sorry
I have
about...
to clean up this mess.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Next time, knock.
Did I not? Pretty sure I knocked.
She just kind of like turns away from you. You absolutely knocked. You knocked and the door opened.
Right
you
now?
absolutely knocked.
Alright. And I will excuse myself.
You exit. heart words with Histatus on your way out. Who, by the way, as you go out, he regrets to inform you that he has not seen Crocodile roar, so he has not been able to give you or give them your message.
Okay. I mean, it just whatever. It doesn't have to be like soon.
That just goes right over his head. So
that boy ain't right.
So, you exit the Blackstaff Tower, and that is 3 out of 4 missives dealt with. We will deal with the 4th one the next time we play Dungeon of the Mad Mage. You guys have made a lot of progress in the 3 months that you have been in the dungeon, but as you progress further and further down, the length of time begins to grow heavier on those that have sent you, and a sense of urgency begins to develop. Fears begin to ignite, and you are given differing opinions from the several factions that you serve on what is most important and what should be done. And ultimately, it is up for you four to decide. Someone's going to be unhappy, but at the end of the day, as long as you succeed, all that matters. We'll see you next time for more Dungeons of the Mad Mage. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.